Hey guys, Tom with the brand team here, and today we're going to be doing a deep dive into the Brand Studio products. Before we do that, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on Brand Studio in case you're new with us or new to the product. And Brand Studio is a cloud-based marketing suite that allows you to control your brand in its entirety. It allows you through four discrete engines to do things like with Dreamer. We can focus on ideation and content strategy. Producer allows you to create really killer content easily. Modeler allows you to create digital models of your brand or unique identity. And then Analyst lets you look at your content critically, whether it's websites or documents, in the form of either an audit or just like a general proofread if you need another set of eyes on something. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. I've got a fresh brand account here, so if you are a first-time user, this video is going to be really great to be watching because we'll be looking at it as a fresh account. So with that said, let's go over here which says let's get started. We're going to click on this link. And this is going to take us into the modeler engine. And let's read what it says. It says, welcome. Let's get started with creating your first model. It says, number one, create an identity. Define your unique persona. Number two, define your tone, where we're going to dial in our written voice. And then number three, refine our vocabulary. A vocabulary in brand is a set of critical words and phrases, either preferred words and phrases like slogans and taglines, or prohibited words and phrases. This can be competitor language or anything else. After those three steps are completed, we will have our first model. And we're actually going to create two different models. We're going to show two different ways that we can do this. So when we get to the part where we're going to make our tone, the first model we'll create, we're going to use what we refer to as tone match. And this is where we will enter in a well-written sample piece of content where our model will inherit the tonal characteristics of that. The second model that we make, we're going to do what we refer to as a rule-based model. And with that one, we can either have our engine figure out the rules that we want for us, or we can go through rule by rule, attribute by attribute, and define that ourselves. So let's go on and click on the Go button under the first box here, and we'll create our first identity. And this first identity that we're going to create is going to be for a blog. And we're going to call it Leave or Take. And the Leave or Take blog is going to be, here, let's just go ahead and we'll select blogger here. And then I've got a little cheat sheet over here where I've got some stuff written down so you don't need to watch me type. Okay, so the description of this blog is it's an album review blog featuring rock magazine, glossy style, one paragraph capsule reviews of classic albums, concluding with a verdict of either take it for pass or leave it for fail. Okay, so then we're going to, we'll go ahead and choose the system default tone since we don't have any other tones added just yet. And then we'll also do the same with vocabulary. We'll just choose the default one for now. But as we create those, we'll be able to assign them easily. So as we create our specific ones, we'll be able to assign them easily. And then lastly, we have the option to add additional reference knowledge. So this is any type of background information that you want our model to understand. So this can be if you had like a product spec sheet, or if you had a company history document or something like that. Any helpful information you can add here, and then it will train the system so that when you generate content, all you need to do is just reference what that is, and it will be able to write about it without a problem. So let's hit save. Okay, cool. So we got a check mark there. Now let's go to step 2. We'll define our tone. I'm going to click go. And so this one we're going to say leave or take tone. And this is the generation method that I was talking about before. And we'll choose tone match for leave or take. And then it's going to ask us which identity we want to assign this to. And we'll choose leave or take. We're going to unassign it to the system default. And here's the writing sample that I mentioned. And I just went online earlier and found a nice, well-written article. It was about the Joshua tree by U2. So I'm just going to put that in there, and we'll hit next. And there we go. So now we're going to do the last step here, which is refine our vocabulary. And again, we'll call this leave or take vocabulary. We'll assign it to our identity again. We'll take it off the system default. And so here's what I was mentioning before with preferred words and phrases. So with this particular identity, what we'll do, we'll add a couple words to the vocabulary. We'll add leave it and take it. And then for prohibited words, we don't really have any, so we're just going to put elevate. And nothing against that word, but I'm sure if you use generative AI to any sort of degree, you'll know that word comes up a pretty good amount. So we'll tell it that not to come up in our content. And hit next. So now we're going to define each of our preferred phrases. Leave it, we're going to say that it's a slogan or a tagline. And then we're actually going to do the same for take it. I'm going to click next. And now for elevate, we'll leave this as general language here. But we actually also have the option to add replacement words or phrases. Now, if we leave this blank, Brand will use its own judgment and it will choose words for you. So if you don't feel like doing this, you don't have to. But if you have particular words that you want to use, giving it a few options is great. So we'll say boost, bump, enhance, and we'll say increase. And hit save. Cool. Success. Vocabulary created. Available now. Try it in Producer. All right, cool. We're not going to go to Producer just yet because we're actually going to head back and create our second model now. So I'm going to click over here to get to the modeler homepage. And the identity box, we're going to click Go. And since we have an identity now that we've already created, we're within the catalog where all of our identities are stored. So you can see our leave or take identity is there. So I'm going to now click the Create Identity button, and we'll create another new one now. And this one we're going to call Birdie Industries. And Birdie Industries is a fictitious business, and they make ultra stylish and featherweight badminton gear. So we're going to enter that there. We're going to, for right now, we'll just assign the system default tone on this one also. But for vocabulary, we're going to leave it blank, because what we're going to end up doing with this identity is actually use it for a content audit. So we just don't really need a vocabulary for it. I do happen to have a logo that I made earlier. So we've got a logo that we can add since it's a business. We can choose an industry for it. So why don't we say consumer goods. And then another thing that we need to add, since our identity as a business, is we've got 4 different statements here. We have a mission statement, and that's going to be sort of the purpose or driving force of the identity. The vision statement is your forward-looking aspirations. We've got our brand positioning statement. That's how you want to connect with your customers and the public. And we have our essence statement, which is a very distilled version of what your brand stands for. So you're sort of the heart and soul of your brand. With each of these statements, we can either enter the text in or paste it. We can click the import button with the robot's head there, and that will allow us to, if we have like a brand book or anything like that that has the content in it, we can do that. Or we can click on the generate button, and that will use our machine learning assistant to do the work for you. So we'll start actually by pasting a couple of them, and then we'll use the assistant for a couple of them too. So here, we'll put this in for the mission statement. At Birdie Industries, we create premier badminton gear to enhance the performance and style of professionals and enthusiasts alike. For a vision statement, we'll say Birdie Industries envisions becoming the premier badminton brand, inspiring excellence and individuality in every game. Cool. So now we'll hit this generate button for our brand positioning statement. It says sit tight, generating statement. Birdie Industries delivers ultra stylish featherweight badminton gear designed to enhance both performance and individual style of badminton professionals and enthusiasts. That's killer. So let's move on to the next one. And for the essence statement, we'll do the same. Sit tight, generating statement. Birdie Industries, where style meets performance in the art of badminton. Love it. All right, so reference knowledge. Again, we don't have anything for this because we're just making this up on the fly. So let's hit save. And it says success identity has been created. Expand it. Create the perfect written tone. Available now. Try it out in Producer. So let's create the perfect written tone. And remember, this time we're going to use a rule-based tone. So we'll say Birdie Industries tone, and we'll leave this set to rule-based. And so here's where we can either have, we can manually choose every rule. That would take a bit of time. So I'm going to just use automatic, and we'll do it that way, and it'll be a bit quicker. So then we're going to choose for our identity, Birdie Industries. And basically what this is doing is it's analyzing all the information that we just entered for the identity. It's looking at all of that and creating a written tone based off of all the properties that it finds. It's really pretty cool. So let's see. Success. Written tone has been created for identity. Extend it. Manage preferred words and phrases. Got it. All right. So we're not going to add a vocabulary because, like I said, this one we'll use for a audit, and so we don't need it. So here are the rules that it came up with. Let's take a look though. Let's see. So values and principles, core values that define our brand, driven by innovation. So this come up with one attribute for each of these. What are the characteristics that set us apart? We're chic. How should our tone be reflected? Bold. Let's see. Our ideal customer is trend setting. We want to come across. We want to resonate as being inspirational. Target demo, young adults. Our personality is sophisticated, performance. So you can really see this took everything that we input and nailed it to a T. So with that said, we're all done here in Modeler. I'm going to open up the sidebar over here on the far left, and from here we can navigate to any engine wherever we are within brand. So we're going to hop over to Producer, and we are now in the Producer content catalog. We haven't created anything yet, but we're going to change that right now. So let's hit Create Content. And so remember, this is going to be for our Leave or Take blog. So it's our micro blog reviewing classic, doing micro reviews of classic albums. So I was thinking for this album, for this review, we could do Phrenology. Oops, gotta click on the box first. Phrenology by the Roots. Review. All right, cool. And then the identity will be leave or take. Now we can choose our tone. So we'll choose our leave or take tone that we created. Custom mode lets us refine this further if we wanted to leave out any particular characteristics. We're going to just leave it on full. Vocabulary, we created our leave or take vocabulary, so we'll choose that. And let's see, we've got a whole bunch of content types. I'm going to, however, choose review / critique. And then when we choose that, you can see over on the right side of the screen, it gives a little bit of information about what that is, if you just wanted to make sure you're choosing the right thing or whatever. So for review critique, we're defining as a critical evaluation of a work, event, or product, offering analysis and opinions. And then underneath that, next to the prompt box, you can see that we offer both a sample prompt as well as just tips for making your prompt the best that it can to generate great content. Really what we find is that if you treat it as if you're a reporter and just provide the who, what, why, where, when, how, you'll have great content every time. That's the spoiler alert for the prompt tips. So let's add in our prompt here though. And we're going to say that we want a 1-paragraph album review of Phrenology by The Roots, concluding with Take It. Focus on the storytelling and production using vivid language. We want it short and sweet and no sugar coating. And within Brand Producer, we can always choose the specific output length that we want. We don't really need to in this case because we did write it within our prompt. But like if we wanted to change this to 10 or 20 paragraphs or whatever, we can do that. We can also change the unit of measurement. So if we have any type of character limitations, constraints, Brand Studio Producer will work with that as well. But we're going to choose automatic because we already say 1 paragraph. Our output language we'll keep as English. And going to just check a few check boxes there and click Create Content. And let's see, please sit tight while your content is being generated. It'll be ready in 1 moment, I think it said. Success. You may edit your content below. Need a hand? Our assistant is ready to help. Cool, got it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to just pause for a second. I'm not actually even going to pause. I'm just going to read this. Let's all read it together. And then we'll keep going after that. Oh yeah, that was really awesome. Cool. All right, so also just a few more things to show you in Producer. It's a full rich text editor, so like if we wanted to highlight the title and make it italics, we could do that. Hit save. And actually, there's a version history. So if we went here. Here's our version that we just did with italics. If we go over here, this is our version without italics. Click on Restore, Confirm, and the italics are gone. So yeah, it's a really easy to use and really full-featured system. In addition to just the text editor, though, we also have an assistant, which we won't go over right now. We don't really need to because this came out really pretty much perfect. And I'm sure you guys all know how to use chat agents pretty good if you're watching this video. You've probably worked with a few AI chatbots before. So I think the thing to be said, though, is that with every piece of content that you create within Brand Producer, in addition to the content itself, you do also receive 10 free chat completions. So if it's not quite where you need it, you can work with the assistant and talk to it like a human, and it does a really great job. Cool. So let's open up the sidebar over here again and hop over to the Analyst engine. And so this is going to be our first time in Analyst. So we can see we've got a few things to do here. Let's see, it says, welcome. Let's start by completing these essential tasks. Number one, create our tone. We've got a check mark there because we already did it. So go us. Number two is going to be define our matrix. And then number three is add a property. So defining a matrix, this is going to be a, we're going to create a numeric representation of the rule-based tone that we created before. It sounds complicated, but it really isn't. In fact, Brand Analyst will do all the heavy lifting for us, and then if we want to adjust it later, we can. So we'll go through that first, and then adding a property. A property is basically a audit target. So this would be a text document, a PDF, Word doc, web page, website, any piece of content that you want to be audited would be considered a property. So let's go ahead and we'll click on define our matrix. And so this one's going to be for Birdie Industries. So we'll say Birdie Industries matrix. Select Birdie Industries. We're going to select the Birdie Industries tone, hit save, and that's it. So like I said, really simple. Number three, add a property. So now we're going to go here and we'll call this one Birdie web page. And this property type is going to be, it's a website, but it's just a singular web page. And so this is just a web page that I found online that was talking about badminton birdies. So just for what it's worth, as we review the audit, if it doesn't give it the highest score in the world, it's not a reflection that the content's necessarily poor. They just didn't write the content against what the criteria is that we're grading them against. So we're not picking on them. Okay, so we're going to, we have the ability to add a sitemap URL. That's if you were going to scan an entire website. A sitemap URL is similar to how Google spiders through websites. It just lists all the URLs and all the page titles. We're not going to do that. So we're just going to add an individual URL. And that is it. And let's click next. This is going to ask us to authorize up to 1 token for scanning the content and grabbing a screenshot. So it says success, property processing. We will notify you when complete. Okay, cool, got it. And then, oh, cool, success, property created, available now, audit this property. That was really quick. Okay, cool. So we're going to do that then. We've gone through our steps. We're now in our audit catalog. You can see we don't have any items yet, but that's okay. We're going to add one. So let's see. We'll select a property first. There's our Birdie web page. Let's hit next. Now we're going to choose our Birdie Industries tone. Oh, here's custom mode again. So let me just show you guys. This is just like it is in Producer. The interface is the same as that. But this will just be, this allows us to choose what we want to audit. So that's pretty cool. So we can, like let's say out of these, let's say we wanted to just audit to make sure the content was chic and bold. And then like let's say some of these, let's just shut some of these all off. And then let's open up tone and personality. How would we, so we're sophisticated. What's this? Yes, let's look for sophistication, excitement, chic, bold. That sounds good. So we'll hit save. And we've got custom mode on now. And then let's see, we're going to choose our matrix. So we'll do the Birdie Industries matrix, just the default one that was generated for us. We'll hit next. And it's going to give us an estimate for how many tokens it thinks it will take to analyze the content. It's estimating about 16. That can vary just based on the output. And then we'll hit audit. Cool. All right. Success. Your property is currently being audited. Sit tight. The length of this process can vary, but you're free to keep doing your thing. All right, cool. Notification will let you know once the process is complete. Got it. Cool. So yeah, and Brand Studio will actually shoot you an email once your audit does complete. This isn't going to really take too long at all. Like we could just sit this out and wait for it. But since I didn't show you guys the details of the matrix, why don't we just go click over there really quick. Oh, all right, it finished. Let's go click over to the matrix first, and then we'll come back here and we'll look at the audit in a second. Sorry, that was a little quicker than I even thought it would be. Cool. So I just wanted to show you guys this because it's really cool. So whenever you create a matrix for one of your rule-based tones, it converts the whole thing into a pie chart. So you can see by default that it's basically given equal distribution across all the different fields. But we can also dig down, if you guys remember before, like our defining qualities, I think it was chic. Yeah, so we can dig all the way down to an individual value over there, and then we can change what that numeric amount is. And we also have the ability for what we refer to as strict mode. And strict mode in Brand Analyst means that so if you have a written tone, let's say super complex, and let's say you're writing something really short, not every single attribute of the tone is always going to be present in every single piece of content that you create, and that's okay. And so what we normally do in Analyst is we'll come back with an NA score if a particular attribute was not detected at all. But what strict mode does is if you have, let's say like chic was above everything else, like the content needs to be chic. If we hit strict mode, if the chic quality is just totally absent, it would actually receive the lowest possible score. So that can be a really helpful little trick when you're grading your content. So anyhow, let's shoot back over to the audit catalog though and check out this audit. So it looks like it gave it 2 stars, which isn't too bad considering these guys didn't write their content for our rules. So in their defense, at least it wasn't a 1 star. So I want to just show y'all our criteria for grading is 1 star is just poor, has huge room for improvement, and you might just want to go back to the drawing board on that one. 2 stars needs improvement. It has at least somewhat of an alignment with the brand, but it needs it needs a little bit of attention. Then we start getting into 3 stars is above average. May not be perfect, but you're representing the brand solidly. Nothing's been broken, and it's satisfactory content. And then 4 stars is excellent. It looks like based on this, because we only graded a few different properties within Birdie Industries, it looks like everything got 2 stars. So because there was only 4 different attributes. So let's take a look at this feedback really quick. So let's see. We've got feedback. Birdie Industries brand compliance feedback indicates a need for improvement in aligning content with its chic, bold, and sophisticated identity. To enhance brand identity, incorporate elements that emphasize the stylish design of products and include testimonials. The tone should be more dynamic and engaging, using assertive language to reflect innovation. Additionally, adopt a refined style to convey sophistication, excitement, using vibrant language and storytelling to captivate the audience. All right, cool. So let's just dig in a little bit further. We're going to hit this Explore Further button, and now we're looking at the results at a category view. Now, if you remember, we had 2 categories. The first one was brand identity, and the second was tone and personality. And so what we're looking at here is an impact graph. And it's going to show basically your gaps, so that as you're looking at a report, you can see any area here that has this lighter red is room for improvement. So in this case, our total brand performance is always 100%. A circle is always going to be a circle, but the potential impact for each category, this actually ends up equaling out to whatever it is that we defined within our matrix. And then this is the score, the 2-star rating against that. So there's quite a bit of room there to move the needle with this one, as well as the other. So let's just read this feedback, though. Let's actually just dig even further, because there's even a 3rd level deep. So I'm going to hit Explore Further on here. And now you can see we're looking at the different rules within brand identity. So we have our defining qualities, and we have our values and mission. So let's see what we've got here for some feedback for our defining qualities. The content provided offers a detailed historical and technical perspective on badminton equipment, specifically focusing on the differences between shuttlecocks and birdies. However, it lacks a clear connection to Birdie Industries' brand identity, which is defined by its chic and stylish essence. To better align with the brand compliance rule and enhance the content's effectiveness in communicating the unique characteristics of Birdie Industries, consider incorporating elements that highlight the brand's chic and stylish attributes. For instance, you could describe the design and aesthetic appeal of Birdie Industries badminton gear, emphasizing how these aspects set the brand apart from competitors. Additionally, integrating testimonials or quotes about the style and performance of the products could reinforce the brand's identity. Lastly, ensure that language used throughout the content consistently reflects the chic and sophisticated tone that Birdie Industries aims to project. So really some great senior editor, senior content editor sort of feedback here. So let's take this one step further, though, and you'll notice we have a button here that says Generate Revisions. So let's click on that, and this actually kicks us over to Producer, and this is our revisions engine. Our revisions block within Producer, and you're going to see here's the content that we're giving it on the right. Here's the score from the audit, the page title, URL, and then here's the feedback that we were just reading. But then we have this intensity slider, and so this allows us to say, basically, if we go full tilt on it, all the way to the right, this would be basically a total rewrite. But if we go all the way to the left, this will be more just subtle tweaks. So let's go ahead and do that. And then let's see, it says notes and instructions. So this is like, where we add our own personal instructions in addition to the feedback. By default, it's just going to say refine this content in accordance with the feedback given. I just want to just read this really just one sec. Yeah, I wanted to, I thought, yeah. Okay. I'm going to just tell it to not try and do testimonials or quotes or anything because we don't have those. So I'm going to say refine this content in accordance with the given feedback, but no quotes or testimonials, please. Cool. Sort of same thing before, just check off a couple buttons and we'll hit generate. This one might take a couple seconds. Just it's got to analyze the content and figure out how it's going to change it. So it's just saying, please sit tight while your content is being generated. It'll be ready in just a moment. Cool. So let's sit tight, and then this will be the last thing that we check out in our deep dive here. And we have success. You may edit your content below. Need a hand. Our assistant is ready to help. Got it. Cool. I can tell you just already right off the bat that, if we, one sec. Oh, we don't have the original content here. Okay, one sec. I'm going to just pull up the original page one more time so we can take a look at that. Yeah, so you can see even this very first sentence here. Badminton was invented in the town of Badminton, in England during the late 1800s, and just this, we were trying to make this a little more chic. So it's originating in the quaint town of Badminton, England during the late 1800s. I can tell right off already just really nice words throughout here. Meticulous, top tier. It has a very chic feel, and that was just using the slider at the lowest position within our revisions block. So I think that will pretty much do it though for our deep dive today. And I just want to let you guys know if you have any sort of questions at all, if you want to go over the brand software using Zoom or anything with us, we're more than happy to help you out. We're all just want to see you succeed and love the product. So just hit us up, send us an email, just reach out, and we'll be more than happy to help you with any questions that you might have. And thanks again for sticking it out. I know it's been a little bit of a long video, but I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope you love the Brand Studio product as much as we all do here. Cool. All right, I will see you next time. Peace, take it easy, and over and out.